ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. We won't stop. Come on, baby, higher.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the week for Fight Night Fortunes with good friend and colleague, Mr. Lou Finicaro at Gamb Lou. Go follow him. Check out his website at gamblou.com. It's been a quirky week as I talk to Lou backstage. Wind is howling as we're going live. It says that StreamYard lost the connection with X, so I don't know if we're live on Twitter. If not, apologies. Obviously, you can catch us on YouTube at East Coast Sports Investors. Headliner, UFC Las Vegas 103. Who will wear the cape in the main event there? First and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play. Download the app. It is free. AtlantaSteaksandSeafood.com. Place an order today. Could be grilling by the weekend. And last but never least, Viva Tequila Seltzer. 6 flavors in all. The East Coast is cuckoo for coconut. So without further ado, let's bring him in. Mr. Lou Finicaro. Afternoon, Lou.
Afternoon, Jeff. Happy to be here. This is another of 11 in a row UFC events. I love the fact that UFC will give us 44 to 46 productions each year, and we just keep marching along. We're not seasonal, and I think that's really half of the fun to the sport, is that you don't have a long time to lick your wounds and feel sorry for yourself if you have a bad week, or gloat if you've had a good week, because another week's right on its heels.
Before we dig into the card this week, I wanted to go to my scorecard here. I have a couple fights up on DraftKings where one is next week and then one we don't know when. And I wanted to throw you the odds and see if you're surprised. Next week, of course, at T-Mobile in Las Vegas, big match between Pereira and, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, Ankalaev. Is that how you pronounce the last name there?
Ankalaev.
Ankalaev. Currently at DraftKings, Pereira minus 115, Ankalaev minus 105. Now, for me, I'm not the expert, but I'm trying to learn from the best, such as yourself. So for me, that number on Pereira looks short, but now I know good competition, heavyweight. Is that number currently, as you see, a fair number with Pereira minus 115?
When this line opened weeks ago, it opened at Bet Online, and Bet Online's, and I cite them because their opening lines are first, and a $100 bet won't move them off it. They'll take a real bet on their numbers. When they opened this fight, Ankalaev was minus 200 and Potan was plus 170. So what you've seen is an immediate market reaction to make that a pick. And so you're looking at it thinking Potan is, pretty affordable at a pick. And boy, if you'd have seen it about 2 weeks ago, you'd have thought it was even better at plus 160 or 80.
Well, I'm going to have a hard time staying away from that one, but this one I know is going to open up your eyes. And again, there's no set date yet for this one, but the GOAT of all GOATs, of course, Mr. John Jones and Mr. Aspinall on DraftKings right now. Mr. Aspinall is minus 142, and you can get the GOAT at plus 120. Now, I, again, am not the expert here, but we're talking the GOAT of GOATs here, and they're offering you plus 120 for Mr. John Jones right now.
That's a fight that is you might as well read Aesop's Fables, because that fight's never going to happen. And it's never going to happen because John Jones is never going to fight Tom Aspinall, no matter what it says, no matter what they think. Every day that goes on, Aspinall gets more qualified as a legitimate heavyweight, and Jones gets older as a legitimate light heavyweight that's been athletic enough to beat a couple heavyweights that were earmarks for him. Aspinall's a different animal. John Jones is an extremely intelligent human being, and whatever game he's playing, but that fight ain't happening.
All right, I'm just the messenger. So
if you're looking for an angle, okay, you're looking for an angle, you can go to the DraftKings menu and you can hit futures, and if you scroll down on the futures, you can make an opinion or an investment on who will be the heavyweight champion on the 31st of December of this year. Currently, Tom Aspinall is minus 130. And I have already released that to my people in a very, very firm fashion.
Well, I will follow your lead on that one right after this show.
I'm just saying that's a bet that's live that my people are sitting on right now, and it's available at the same price to the people that are listening to this show right now, whether you like it or not. So you're betting like I'm betting that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to feed Aspinall somebody before the end of the year, because Jones ain't fighting Aspinall. Jones, if he's smart, rides off into the sunset on his horse and says goodbye. Now you heard he wants Pereira. So if Pereira beats Ankalaev, will Jones try for Pereira? I can see that. In that case, he gives up the heavyweight title and Aspinall competes for it. So if you're looking for a little advantage, Aspinall to be the champion at the heavyweight division at the end of the year is a pretty good consideration from this vantage point.
If I asked you if Pereira wins next Saturday, and let's say sometime in the fall, Jones decides to fight Pereira, what is the Lou opening number for a Jones and Pereira fight?
Yeah, and watch this cop out. I don't open lines. I wait. I let the bookmaker open the line, and I play into it. But to me, what weight are we fighting at? Jones has been fighting at heavyweight. Pereira light heavyweight. Where are they going to fight? Jones coming back down to light heavyweight? Because if he is, I'm betting the house in your house on Potan, because Jones will compromise himself too much. He spent too much time getting to heavyweight. So does Pereira go to heavyweight? And if he does, maybe I like Jones a little bit, because Pereira looks like all the undersized guys that he's fought at heavyweight that he's had advantage over, and all Jones has to do is get him down. Can he? Well, we'll have to tune in to watch.
I love that. Thank you so much there. 4 fights. Las Vegas, we're going to break down right now. The Apex, smaller ring, less people. 3 big boy fights, as you say in your Sneak Teep podcast here. First fight you want to break down is Ramos versus Marisol. Right now, let me see here. I'm going to go to my card as we speak. Ramos plus 320, Marisol minus 410, over 2.5 rounds, plus 110, Lou.
Yeah, so this number's gotten totally out of whack. Marisol, who I'm going to call Chepe because that's his nickname. The guy is a rough customer, man. Chepe is about blunt force trauma. He goes right into the fire and throws down. And he opens at minus 180, and he's just been bet out the wazoo. He's fighting a guy in Ramos that's a submission guy, and he's good at it. He's going to be younger, longer, taller. Got a reach advantage on Chepe. The problem, unfortunately, for Ramos is that he doesn't do well when backed up, bullied, and pushed around. And that's exactly what Chepe's going to want to try and do. Chepe's going to want to back this kid up and just beat the bejeebies out of him. Meanwhile, Ramos is going to try, if he can, to catch Chepe, maybe desperately trying to come in. If Ramos can spend a round on his feet, touching him from distance, and actually staying away from the clasp and the inside and the elbows and knees of Chepe, he can frustrate him and make him predictable in that second and third round and maybe catch a submission. So, yes, Chepe is the rightful favorite, but this number is way, way, way out of whack. So if you wanted to look at Ramos, I mean, you just catch him right now. You catch him at what, plus 4 something or 320, 330, 350. You wait because it's only going up before fight time. But wait, maybe you take him by submission. You get 8-9 to 1 if you want to do something crafty like that. But a really excellent fight by Styles. But with the way it's priced, you got to either get cute with Ramos or maybe pass.
Our second fight on the board today, Barlow versus Patterson. Currently, Barlow minus 310, Patterson plus 250, and over under of 1.5 rounds, Lou minus 110.
Yeah, Patterson from the UK, long, tall, kind of like the Eastern European English boxer, stoic, set up straight up and down. He's tall, his chin's going to be up there. Barlow's got plenty of athleticism, explosion, and power. This is a real bad matchup for Patterson. Now, you want to take Barlow and team him with Chepe. That might be a way to ensure yourself of 2 very, very apt fighters together that you bet one and you're going to probably win 0.7 or 0.8. But this card appears to be somewhat laden with favorites. The dogs have been running great so far this year. 58% on favorites is 14% lower than it was last year. So I see maybe a favorite card here. At least I see Chepe and Barlow as having advantage over their opponents.
The third battle here, Brundage versus Marquez. Currently, Brundage plus 102, Marquez minus 122, and over under over 1.5 plus 114. Kind of a coin flip here, and they're expecting some action here.
Yeah, and I don't see it. I find I take exception to this fight, and I don't mind putting myself on the line for it. Marquez opens 220. And now he's minus 122. Well, I think I agree with that move to Brundage. Both these guys are on the cusp of being cut. In fact, I tell you that the loser probably goes home here. These guys used to train together. They know each other. They're actually friendly. Are they best friends? No. Are they friendly? Yes. And so, but when you have lost your last 3 via finish, like Marquez has, and you're 1 and 2 or 3 in your last 4, like Brundage is, you take who they give you. So they put these two together. Marquez, big, strong, not necessarily quick or fast, but a lot of power in his hands, and he wants to strike. Brundage does his best work as a wrestler, and that's why I'm confused at this total here. It's clearly in Brundage's best interest to go and hug Marquez and suck the air out of him and push him against the fence, neutralize his power, and take this fight deep into the second or third round where Marquez will really tire because he's so big. Marquez benefits by the total number, but I don't see the fight going that way. Brundage is not going to stay out and stand there and swing at Marquez. I don't believe. Add to the fact that these guys train together, and that familiarity makes me think that over number is totally wrong. And so I'll tell you, fight to start round 2 is minus 140. Take it. Over 1.5, take it. Fight starts 3, take it. Fight to go to decision plus 300. I say take a little taste on that too. I like this fight to go to a decision.
I love where your eyes are there. The main event here, the headliner again, who will be wearing the cape, as I said it. Right now, is it Cap? How do you pronounce the last name there?
Cop, like cops and robbers.
Cop, minus 218, and Ankalaev.
Yeah.
Oh, that was lucky. Plus
How about
180.
that?
Plus 180. It pays to listen to the Sneak Deep podcast on Mondays, people.
Yeah.
Over 4.5 rounds, minus 154. They're saying this one's going to the cards, Lou.
Yeah, and on the Sneak Deep on Monday, it was 3.5. And I said, if you want to play games, take the 3.5 now, because I think it's going to 4.5. And here it is, 4.5. Another reason to listen to Sneak Deep. Now that cost $250 at the time, but now with that price, you just take the fight not to go to the distance, and you have 7.5 minutes of I can win both bets kind of time. Anyway, in this here fight, you got a kid in Ankalaev who is a Kazakhstani wrestler, tough, durable, going to come and wrestle you. Cop is an unbelievable, freakish athlete. Fast, nimble, powerful as a fighter, but he's obtusely cocky and overconsiders himself and really believes he's way better than he really happens to be. He's missed weight a few times at this division. He's a bully. He wants to be the bigger guy and the faster guy, and that's why he cuts all that weight to make 125, and he doesn't always do it. Now, we'll see. I would expect him to make weight for this, but I can't make a determination on this fight till I see what kind of condition this Cop is shows up in. He's just wildly cocky, but I will say in his 3 losses, he's been wrestled and grappled up. What's Ankalaev do? Wrestle up and grapple up people. And though this is a significant step up for Ankalaev, he has the game and he has the wrestling acumen to give Cop all kinds of trouble. So tomorrow is weigh-ins, and if I see Cop in the first 10, 15 minutes show up and he weighs 125 right on the nose, 125.5, and he starts eating bananas and drinking orange juice, I know we got a live fighter because he's there to fight, or at least that's what I'll hope, okay? Now, if he comes in with 5 minutes left in the weigh-ins and he's looking a little soft and he's been fighting a cut and he doesn't make the weight, or he comes in at 126 at the last minute, then I'm really believing that he is maybe not as focused on this fight as he should be, and I may end up going with Ankalaev or playing some other game like run away from it, because you're trying to bet a guy in Cop that's really, really uneven.
Well, as you know, big week next week at T-Mobile. We talked about Pereira as the headliner, the main event there. I guess my first question, Lou, will you be tiptoeing to Vegas and T-Mobile for next weekend?
No, I won't. If I was in Vegas, I would probably get some guys together and watch it at a location, which is normally what we do, because we can have adult beverages and you see it better and all that. But my next trip to Vegas, I was there a lot this fall. My next trip to Vegas is probably going to come after the tournament, sometime right after the tournament and before the Kentucky Derby, April-ish.
All right. Well, we'll keep tabs on that. The scroller's been going the whole time, of course, Lou. They know where to find you on X, of course, at Gamb Lou. Sneak Deep podcast Mondays, About Business podcast on Fridays after the weigh-ins. But as we always wrap up this segment, please tell them where they can find your website and, of course, your charity.
Yeah, please go to gamblou.com. Anyone interested in following what I do, and that's sports investing. And I only invest in 4 sports: College World Series, which is upcoming, hockey playoffs, which are just around the corner, UFC, which we're into right now, and NFL, which I get a few months from. And then everything that runs through the Gamb Lou webpage is there is a portion of our proceeds that are routed to the San Xavier Mission in Tucson, Arizona, just south here of Phoenix, a couple hours. They're doing great work down there, and I appreciate, Jeff, the fact that you let me mention that. You don't have to be a Gamb Lou member to contribute. You can go to the webpage, hit the San Xavier Mission tab, and contribute directly if you so choose. And if you do, thank you.
Well, everyone, big weekend this weekend, of course, at the Apex. Next weekend, live at T-Mobile. Everyone, I can't thank you guys enough for supporting us and following us here every Thursday at 3 p.m. Do yourself a favor. Go follow Lou at Gamb Lou. Check out the website, of course, at gamblou.com. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., NCAA Insiders and back. Matt Grissom, Quentin Mills, Nick Hathcote do an amazing job. College baseball, week number 3. Everyone, enjoy yourselves this afternoon, and we will be back soon.